Welcome back, everyone. We're here at Cooper Creek Square in our studio in the heart of Winter Park. Has over 20 stores and restaurants. And I'm here with Frank DeLay from Grand Mountain Bank. Frank, what made you move to Winter Park or Grand County?
You know, I actually moved to Grand County to help start the bank back in 2003. But I've actually had a longer experience here in Grand County. I learned to ski at Winter Park in 1973. I remember there weren't very many runs, and I didn't really ski much. I skied by the Moffett water pipe. I remember, taking that lesson right by that pipe and doing that. So that was back in 73. I actually met my wife, of all places, the pub, back in 1997.
You meet a lot of people at the pub.
I know, but in this case, I met my wife, and we were both volunteering for the old Red Cross Fat Tire Classic.
Okay.
That was a long-time mountain bike benefit for the Red Cross up here, and we were both volunteers, and we happened to meet at the pub. So of all places, and then we start the bank. I was actually living down in Salida, and knew some people that were starting the bank up here. So that's how I ended up in Grand County. And it's a great place to be, great place to live, great place to raise kids as well. Yeah,
it's very small and kid-friendly. Do you have a favorite run on the mountain?
I ski both Winter Park and make sure I say it right, Ski Grammy Ranch.
I actually live over there, so
okay.
I go there too.
So it's a great place. You live in Granby, it's right there.
Yeah.
Over here at Winter Park, I telly, not very good at it. I have old skis, but I telly. I love to challenge myself on outhouse once a year.
Bumps.
Just to see if I can still do it, but that's getting harder and harder as the years go by.
Okay, so let's get back to the financial stuff a little bit. I've noticed, I'm just a renter, but I've noticed that it might be actually more cost effective for me to buy a house because my mortgage and rent would basically be the same thing. What kind of trends are you seeing in real estate and finance and loan rates too?
In the real estate or residential wise, values, if we go back to that, the cliff we fell off with the economy.
Right.
Values in residential houses, they were up there. In general, what we've seen that home values decreased about 30 to 40%.
Wow. Between
where they were and I'd say last year or two.
Right.
We finally started to see some stabilization there in values, but that's 30% less than they were. And so if you are renting, what we're also seeing in the rental market is there's a lot less places that are available to rent anymore.
I mean, there's no place to rent up here right now.
Yeah, and those costs go up.
Yeah.
And what's unfortunate is for those locals that maybe don't have the down payment for a house. Now there are programs out there, and it seems like things are getting a little bit easier to get some financing. But there are programs for first-time home buyers to come in and buy a house. But you're right, where rates are today. 30-year rates for a mortgage, if you track that at all, they're less than 4% right now, and they've never been that low. And so if you can afford, like I said, if you can afford a place to rent, there's still some properties out there that you can buy. Problem is the supply is shrinking, and the deals that were there 2 years ago are evaporating.
So there is this very low mortgage rate, but are the qualifications a little bit more stringent? I mean, obviously, than what they were, because, that's kind of one of the reasons we got into trouble. They're just not giving anybody a loan. Do you feel like it's like for somebody like me that's single and self-employed? How hard is that for me to get a loan? I think it would be pretty difficult.
It's a lot more difficult than it was, once again, 5-6 years ago. Things were, you could walk in, and if you had a decent credit score and you could show a pay stub, you'd get a loan.
Right.
For those that haven't attempted to get a loan here in the last couple of years, they're going to be surprised by the level of detail that lenders are requiring.
Right.
One thing we do for us, we currently keep all the loans we make.
Okay.
And
so you don't sell them to anybody?
So we don't sell them to another party. Now, eventually we'll get back to doing that. We did that a number of years ago. But, our requirements may be a little less stringent. You still got to have good credit. You still got to show income to be qualified. But at the same time, there's a lot of things that we call them secondary market lenders, some of the bigger companies will require that just us as a hometown bank may not require.
Okay. We're going to take a short break. So thanks for watching and stay tuned. We're here with Frank DeLay from Grand Mountain Bank. It's a hometown bank. Thanks.